For the next 3 weeks, we're going to be journeying through the Gospel of John in our daily devotions, and today we pick up in John chapter 1, beginning at verse 29 through the end of the chapter. In this passage, John the Baptist not once but twice identifies Jesus as the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. And our verse for the day is verse 38, because John says this about Jesus with some of his disciples present. Then verse 38 says, "When Jesus turned and saw them following, he said to them, 'What are you looking for?' They said to him, 'Rabbi,' which means teacher, 'where are you staying?' Jesus said to them, 'Come and see.'" This is a question and an invitation that's at the heart of the beginning of John's gospel. John makes it clear in starting his gospel that Jesus is the Word. He's come full of grace and truth. He's the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. And John the Baptist is going to make it clear that this is the one that he was preparing the way for. And Jesus, in all of the Gospels, is often presented in conversations with people or encounters with people asking a question. And this was the traditional rabbinical way of teaching, was by asking questions. It's like the old story of some students came to a rabbi and said, "Why do you always teach with questions?" And the rabbi looked at them, paused and thought and said, "So what's wrong with a question?" Well, Jesus is a rabbi. That's what we're told. They call him rabbi, which translated means teacher. So we shouldn't be surprised that he asked them the question, "What are you looking for?" I find it interesting that Jesus doesn't ask them, "Who are you looking for?" You might think that two people following another person, that the question might be, "Who are you looking for?" It's, "What are you looking for?" And clearly, the disciples are looking for something deeper than just a name. And Jesus invites them to come and see where he's staying. And the disciples, we're told, remained with him that day. And one of the disciples who heard John speak and followed Jesus was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. And he goes and finds his brother and says, "We have found the Messiah." And this is how John begins the story of how Jesus starts to assemble his closest disciples, Andrew and Peter, and the rest will follow, Philip and Nathanael. But it's an interesting question, right? If Jesus asked you today, "What are you looking for?" how would you answer that question? What would you say? How would you respond? I hope as I conclude this devotion, you take a couple minutes to think about that and what your answer would be.